Oh yeah, that reminds me. So today I'm talking about, are the roadsmart 3 tires are any good? Now I don't have not a lot of people talk about these tires too much apparently. And ever since I heard about their new roadsmart 4 tires, which I am excited about, you know, so I was like, yeah, why not talk about it? You know, okay, that wasn't as fast as I thought. Okay, so here's the thing with these tires. Now then, first off, they're sport touring tires. Now, why do I have them on my R6? Because before then, I used to daily my bike a lot. But then at one point, I just kind of like daily my car more often. Ever since I got a new car, because my old car broke down. So I was like, hey, it's doing that. But now gas prices are like nearly $5. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the bike now again. But yeah, so these are dual compound tires. So what I mean by that is that the center piece of the tire is a harder compound than the edges of the tire. And the reason for this is obviously to make it to, you know, when you're just riding it right how I am right now, just daily riding the bike and everything and all that, the harder compound is going to be a much better tire, so that when it comes to like just riding it downtown, and it doesn't wear down as much as compared to like Q3s or something like that, where the softer compound is all around. Now it does have a softer compound on the edges of the tire, so whenever I want to go out, you know, the canyons or some twisties or whatever the case may be, you know, they're there. And it actually does help really well. You can tell the little difference too. Now I do know in today's technology, tires are even triple compound. So basically you have like the harder side on the very center, and then right next to that is a little softer, and then the very edge of that is a much softer one, which is pretty interesting. I want to try that out. So overall, do I like these tires? Yeah, they're not bad actually. I like that. I had them on my F4i, I had on this bike. They're really good. They're really good tires. However, they're not perfect actually. They're not. Now, when it comes to roads, that's the biggest problem it has over here. Now, going straight, the rear tire will kind of fishtail because it can't really actually it can't spread out the water out very well if you go on a straight line, of course. Now, when I was riding this on the freeway, when it was like curvier during the rain, it actually did it really well actually. I was like, wee, just in the rain, but I did not recommend doing that. Yeah, I really don't recommend doing that, but on the corners, it was able to handle the tires pretty well. I wasn't going crazy fast or anything, you know, I was just riding normally, but it did really well. And when I meant by raining, that on that day, it was storming out like crazy. However, like I said before, on the rear tire, when you go straight, it will just wants to, like, you know, fishtail and hydroplane. There we go. And you know, that's gonna be awful. It's pretty annoying. That's one thing I do hate about these tires when it rains. Unlike Michelin, I forgot what kind of tires they were, but one of the Michelin tires solved that problem pretty easily, and I always want to try those too as well. Another thing I've been noticing with these tires, I'm not sure if it's just me or what's going on, but I'm noticing the constant need to refill, to re-air the tire. Now, what I meant by this, I don't mean like an everyday ding or anything like that. I just feel like it's a lot more necessary to do so, or no, there's a better word for this. A lot more often than normally, basically. That's what I noticed with these tires as well. It's needing to air them up a little more. Quite a bit more often than other tires I had experience with. That's also not a weird thing I don't like about these tires. Now, at first when I had it on my F4i, I was like, okay, this is something a little weird. But then when I had it on my R6, I was like, okay, so I guess these are just the tires thing, basically. So another thing I always want to talk about as well, talking about the topic of tires real quick, is I've been seeing a lot of people pulling like Q3 pluses on their, you know, on the daily or whatever, and just go out on the streets and all that. I was like, really? There's so many other tires that are much better for that in a situation like this. Like, I just don't understand. And next you know, people were riding out like with some bold ass tires and all that. And it's just like, really? Come on. You spend all of these modifications on your car or on your bike and all that. Or, you know, there could be those people too who are just like, who really got like a 600 and is showing it off, and to them it looks like, you know, a badass bike, but then to people who actually have knowledge, it's kind of copped out. But yeah, there's different tires out there that's actually made, you know, for like, Jesus Christ. You see how, I'm not sure you can see that on camera, but I'm like, kind of like leaning over a little bit, but I'm trying to go straight. That's how hard this wind is picking up. But yeah, so trust me, this always, not everyone needs to go like, oh, I need some Q3s or Pirellis, Diablos or anything like that. It really depends on the application riding you do, really. Like, you don't need to get like the best of the best tires, like specifically for racing only. You know, it's really up to you what you want. Like, depending on what riding you do, you should really invest in some different type of tires. You know, they have, you know, like more of a sporty tire. They have sport touring tires. Of course, they have slicks, but who's riding slicks over here? I like to see that happen, actually. I would love to see somebody riding their slick tires in the streets on their bikes. That'd be interesting. Oh god. And this wind is crazy right now. And up there it might rain. God damn it. Now I know a lot of people have their preferences, like, oh yeah, that reminds me. Funny story. Back when I was a Lotech at this one shop. Yeah. Back when I was a Lotech at this one shop, there was a guy who bought this like brand new CBR. I think it was like a Firebird 1000RR, but it didn't have like a matching rear tire because apparently I don't have like a nail in there or something like that, if I remember correctly. So the biggest flex this guy did is like, let's buy a whole new bike. And that's what he did. He literally bought, I'm not sure if he traded it in for that bike for another bike, but that's some flex right there. And I was like, damn. That must be nice. Yeah, strict legs. Yeah. Never mind. But yeah, overall, I'm really excited to see those roadsmart 4 tires. I actually might get them try. Oh, another thing I totally forgot to mention. So in my last video on my KLX 300, on the, not mine, I can't really want one of those bikes now. But yeah, on the KLX 300 SM that I rode, I forgot what tires they have. But they were like the sporty tire basically. Not sport touring tires, but like sport tires basically. I need to, I'll put it up in the view somewhere. But yeah, when I was turning on that bike, oh my god, it turned like butter. I don't know if that's the bike's ergonomics, is the supermoto, or simply because of the tires, or both. Honestly, it could be both, but I'm just like, oh my god. These are fun ass tires to go on the canyons and everything. Like, even on the slope, like going like right here, I was like, oh my god, this thing turns beautifully. Like, the only other bike that I know that turns so nicely and so smooth was the what was it called? Oh, the R1200 GS. Oh man, those turn so smoothly, and I was like, wow, I was so impressed. But yeah, tires can definitely make a big change on your riding style and all that. But the reason I went with sport touring tires is because, one, they last a long time and they're reliable. They're good for everyday riding and everything. That's why I got sport touring tires, and they can be pretty expensive too. So that's why I'm not putting out like the Autovos Q3 Pluses or anything like that. I know a lot of people say the Q3 Pluses does add like much better mileage and everything and all that, and I get that. But like at the same time, I could buy something that's a little cheaper but will last me a lot longer, but they're still good tires. They're not like the cheap tires like Chicos or whatever, and they still get a bad rep. But yeah, so that's really it for this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more. Yo, I made it. Haha. So like I said before, leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions or a topic you want me to talk about, just leave it down in the description. I'm gonna highly consider it. And with that, see y'all later. See ya.